It's Saturday in River Forest, and we have football back. The Cougars are taking on the visiting Concordia University, Wisconsin Falcons on a chilly 50-degree day in River Forest, Illinois. Carter Gledhill joined by Peter Borkowski as we get ready for the Cougars' home opener. And it's an exciting one. As long anticipated, have these Cougars been on the road. 3 games so far this year have been played on the road. They went 2-1 after an opening win against Beloit. And then after that, they had a win against Finlandia University. A road loss to Aurora last week, but they're back home in front of a home crowd. And as you can see, they're energized and ready to go. Peter, it's an exciting one here. We're excited to be back. And most importantly for this team, for the Cougars, is they're feeding off energy. And we can see it's been in the first 2 games, if they have that, they're able to continue out with the win. But against Aurora last time, they couldn't get anything going in the first quarter, and they ended up losing.
Yeah, I think, playing in front of a home crowd always helps as well. And, it's obviously a big game, kind of first game, things feeling somewhat back to normal after an abbreviated year last year. So, yeah, excited to see what this team can do in front of a home crowd.
Cougars will kick off to start the game. We welcome everybody joining us on the Cougar Sports Network. Carter Gledhill, Peter Borkowski on the call with you today. Ryan Ard, the freshman kicker, will place the ball down at the 35-yard line. And the kick is away. It's a short little pooch just to the 30. Falcons take it and tackled just outside the 37-yard line.
Yeah, good way to limit some yards on that kickoff right there.
Devin Shilbilski on the catch off the kickoff. So the Falcons will set up shop. And leading the Falcons on offense is senior quarterback James Lynn. Peter, we talked about him before the game and how explosive he is, but this is a Falcons offense that can put up some big numbers, especially in the passing game.
Yeah, you look at their stats, their yards per pass, yards per rush, and they very much are a passing team. They do not have much in rushing yards this year, so see how that comes to fruition in this game.
Matt Mongary was tackled just at the line of scrimmage. Julian Ramirez slams him down to the turf. Nothing picked up, 2nd and 10, Falcons on the ball. 2 receivers each side. Pass, snapped, little fling pass out to the right. Good pursuit, makes a man miss. And a swarm of Maroon tackles him at the 40-yard line. Tyler Dudley the senior linebacker.
I think that's going to be the key here is, we talked about how explosive Wisconsin's quarterback is. If the front 7 for the Cougars can keep getting to him and limit him to those little dump passes, I think that's going to be the key to limiting this explosive passing offense Wisconsin's bringing in.
Falcons ranked 5th in the nation in passing yards per game. Cougars have the 31st best pass defense, just averaging 145 yards allowed. Lynn back, scrambling, rolls out to his right, tries to find a man. Nothing there, no flag is thrown right now.
Yeah,
and it looks like they're bringing on the punt team. A quick 3-and-out for the Falcons to open the game.
Yeah, we saw there again, just what I said. Cougars are able to collapse the pocket really quick, and Wisconsin just did not get anything going out of it. So,
Cougars are coached by Andy Lambert in his first season at the helm of the Concordia University Chicago football program. 2-1 so far, and on the other side is Greg Etter in his 14th season, 61-68 with the school. Punt is high, driven, little wobbly. Takes a first bounce at the 25, and it's going to roll. Good Falcons bounce, and that's going to roll all the way down inside the 5. It keeps rolling.
Oof.
It keeps rolling, and man. A good down at the 1-yard line.
That ball just did not want to quit rolling. A couple lucky rolls on that punt right there for Wisconsin.
Mason Konczynski, the junior punter, lays down a beauty, and it pins the Cougars deep into their own territory. And the Cougars offense takes the field, led by the senior quarterback, Jordan Sepulveda. One name that is a big addition to this Cougars offense is DeAndre Daniels. He's been out for the last 2 games. And in his first game against Beloit, had 146 yards and a touchdown before departing. Cougars just make a wedge and push up. We'll gain a handful of yards. 2nd down and 8. Cougars offense has struggled a little bit in the early going. Daniels was a big part of their run game in Beloit. Since then, they've had a mix of Amarion Hicks and Troy Prattley.
Yeah, getting Daniels going is going to be a key to this offense, getting back in shape.
So 2nd and 8 on the right hash, Sepulveda in the backfield. Motions Ward into the right. Quick flip out to the right side to Covington, and he is able to make a man miss, get a couple more yards. And he'll get close to the 1st down marker. First man in on the tackle was Eli Wallace. And it's going to be 3rd and short for the Cougars. Cougars only converting 15% of their 3rd downs on the season, but a manageable 3rd and 2. Daniels to the left. Sepulveda takes it, has the option pitch, finally does.
Nice.
And the Cougars pick up the 1st down. Daniels was able to gain a couple before getting knocked out of bounds. And the Cougars are able to move the chains.
Nice little pitch out there by Sepulveda. Kind of drew the defense towards him. They thought he was probably going to be the one to take it. Pitched it out the last second, got the 1st down.
To your point, he did a good job of reading that end and the outside linebacker. He could have pulled up and went up there, but he had that pursuit from Wallace coming over to the side. Both teams running a no-huddle offense, getting their signals in from the sideline. Play clock's ticking down, though, 7 on it. Sepulveda gets ready. Play clock at 3. Man in motion. And the snap gets it off just in time. Or did he not? Delay a game, as the back judge says, delay a game. Referee for the game, Jeremy Mansilla. He'll be on the microphone today, Stacy Pegas. As the umpire, head line judge, Brett Anderson. Line judge, Guy Murness. Side judge, Steve McLaughlin. Field judge, Anthony Walker. And back judge, Scott Stanksick. Cougars move back, 1st and 15. Man in motion, going to the right side. Sepulveda with the snap. Hands it off to Daniels. And he plows his way up to the middle. Looked to be stopped by Julian Johnson.
You mentioned the no-huddle offense. I wonder if that has anything to do with the delay game they just took. Obviously, taking time to get a huddle together, that obviously takes seconds off the clock, but you're also able to get more concise information out than just relying on information coming off the sideline. So interesting to see how that'll play out the rest of the game.
Sepulveda sends another man in motion. Hands it off. Daniels. Didn't get too much. Looks like he picked up about 3.
So it looks like their main rushing tactic right now is just run it up the gut. So we'll see if they may be able to branch out later in the game and try and get some more runs around the line rather than right through it.
Third and 5. Sepulveda, quick screen. And he was hit hard. But the Cougars were able to get a conversion on that. As Isaiah Macy with the catch moves the chains. Cougars back-to-back on 3rd down conversions. So again, we talk about this Cougars team really feeding off the energy. Needs to get going early after they were shut out against Aurora last week, 70-0. A strong opening drive would be big. Movement up on the front. Looked like the center moved before everybody else. Now we have a conference behind Sepulveda at the 20-yard line. Referees are gathered together. Offsides on the defense. So that was the confusion. You see Juan Diaz picked up that ball and started running to the end zone as he wanted to see if that ball was still alive. Play was blown dead. Offsides. Cougars will get a gifted 5 yards. 1st and 5. Daniels to the left. Motions McKinney. Sepulveda drops back, rolls left. 2 Falcons, now 3 chasing him out. He'll step out of bounds near the line of scrimmage. Maybe loses a yard on that. But the Falcons came quickly into the backfield and made Sepulveda scramble.
The Cougars are lucky. Sepulveda's got a nice set of legs under him. He's able to, rush the ball if they need him to escape situations. He's got about 69 yards on the season, so maybe not a guy you want running the ball all the time, but if he gets in trouble in the backfield, he can definitely escape pressure. It's always nice to have in a QB.
Mobility is key, especially. And Cougars take a timeout as the play clock was winding down again. It seems like there's some confusion between the players on the field and the coaches on the sideline.
Like I said earlier, that no huddle offense, that might be what is tripping them up right now. Obviously, the idea is that the offense is quicker. They're able to get that information off the sideline easier. They don't have to huddle up and talk about it. But if you're not able to clearly convey that information sideline to player, well, that's when you get these late game clock situations that the Cougars seem to be running into.
So timeout taken by the Cougars. 8:35 left in the first quarter.
Getting some points on the board early would be key for the Cougars here. Like you said earlier, they got shut out last week, so it is 100% a confidence thing to be able to say that you're able to get some points up on the board.
Aurora is a big powerhouse in the NAC, so credit to them. Jet sweep wrapped up and slammed to the turf. Nothing there as the Cougars lose a couple. Connor Stroming in the backfield swallowed up the Cougar receiver in motion. Falcons 2-1 on the year, coming off of a loss to Benedictine last Saturday where they lost 31-20 as the Eagles put up 17 unanswered points in the fourth quarter. So 3rd and 7, 2 receivers to the right. Sepulveda wants to send a man in motion, but there's still confusion. And another timeout taken by the Cougars. So the Cougars have wasted 2 timeouts in the opening drive.
You got to wonder if this is maybe something Lambert's trying to input just for this game, because the Cougars just do not seem to be comfortable with whatever play calling system they're using. Like you said, 2 timeouts and a delay of game.
As we mentioned, this is a new Cougars offense. Andy Lambert, first-year head coach for the Cougars.
Yeah, and to that credit, it does always take time for a team to learn a new system, but this is their 4th game of the year, and you would think by now they start getting the hang of it, but this drive, they've just had some troubles getting that play calling information across.
Sepulveda keeps it himself. That was not Sepulveda. They made a quarterback switch in that huddle. Now the punt team comes out for the Cougars. But what looked like the promising drive was stalled by miscommunication, 2 timeouts wasted. Troy Prattley was actually on the carry on that last one. So now he'll drop back to punt.
Yeah, miscommunication is just one of those frustrating things. It's not really that the offense was executing wrong. It's just they did not get any information across they needed to.
Falcons get a guy in the backfield but knocks down Prattley. Referee throws the flag, and the Cougars offense will be coming back onto the field.
Nice break there for the Cougars. Hopefully they can get things going now on the second chance. See Coach Lambert on the sideline trying to hype the team up. That could, again, you spoke to that energy that this team is needing. That could be a key part of it, is just sideline attitude, sideline behavior. So see how that plays out throughout the game as well.
So running into the kicker brings the Cougars offense and the Falcons defense back onto the field.
See if the Cougars can make something out of this second chance here.
Man in motion right side, Bo's out. Daniels with the carry, and he's pulled back. Gets about 2-3 yards on that.
Again, we see Sepulveda is not in at quarterback for the Cougars. You got to wonder what the decision-making process is behind this switch.
Daniels with another carry. Only gets a few more yards. But yeah, you mentioned, Peter, Sepulveda not in at quarterback right now. But still, Cougars look a little bit in shambles on the sideline. Lambert is pacing down by the 45. He's not giving the signals in. The Cougar snap. Nate Bailey in at quarterback. Pitches it out and gets decked. He gets decked. The Cougars offense is stuffed at the line of scrimmage. And the Falcons read that like a book. Nothing doing there. So the Cougars, after being given another chance to come onto the field with the running into the kicker call, is now going to send the punt unit back.
Say, Falcons defense looks like they're on top of things here. They're picking up on a lot of things. Cougars been sending a lot of men in motion in the backfield, but Falcons seem to be unfazed by that.
Good snap. Good kick. Little wobbly, and it's low. It's going to take a bounce. And picked up running on the left side. There's some blockers, and the Falcons are going. Tripped up just over the 50-yard line. Pierre Summers, the third, was able to take a nice kick there and bring it over the 50-yard line into Cougars territory. The Falcons offense will come out for a second time in the first quarter.
Say, good field positioning here for the Falcons starting this drive. See if the Cougars defense can stand tall and not allow any points on the board, or at least limit it to a field goal.
So we mentioned on that last drive, Nate Bailey was in at quarterback. Graduate student from Naperville, Illinois, was taking reps at quarterback. Dropping back, deep ball, no play, but a flag comes in late from the back judge.
Crowd is not happy with that call. And neither is the Cougars sideline as well.
Eric Wade was on coverage. Pass interference called. Sam Campbell was the intended receiver. Campbell's 6'1". Wade, 5'10". It looked like a jump ball. But that's going to give the Falcons another good chance to move the ball. They're now at the 29-yard line after the penalty.
So it was one of those 50-50 calls. Could have probably gone either way, and obviously the ref saw it as passer interference.
Hand it off to Montgomery. Left side, breaks the lane. He's able to gain a couple after he's brought down by Tyler Dudley. Falcons get back on the ball. But Tyler Dudley, a veteran for this Cougars defense. We talked to Coach Andy Lambert about him. He is one of the leaders on this team and a big factor of what they're doing. Montgomery with some speed up the right side. He's brought down by another senior leader on this team, Earl McIntyre.
Falcons offensive line doing a good job opening some lanes right now for the running back. See if the Cougars are able to adjust to this.
Falcons get the first down. Almost got a Cougar to jump offside. Another handoff. Montgomery tries to find room. But he's brought down by Colson Pua.
Another handoff for the Falcons. We talked about how explosive their passing offense is, but there isn't much to be said for their rushing offense. I wonder if they're trying to get the Cougars to move in a bit to stop the rush with all these consecutive rushes and then hopefully open things up down in the passing lanes.
3 receivers to the left side. Lone man to the right is Campbell. Lynn drops back, takes 2 steps, moves up in the pocket, can't see anything, just gets it out in time. The ball is dead and was a little wobbly as he was trying to get to Campbell, but some backside pressure from the defense rushed the throw, I think. And now it's 3rd and 10.
Maybe another reason that they're running to the rushing game a lot is Cougars have done a really nice job collapsing the pocket in on Lynn this game. Obviously, they probably picked up during film sessions that the Falcons are very much a passing offense, and a lot of their defensive game plan probably revolves around getting to the quarterback. So Falcons might be going to the rushing game almost as a necessity right now.
Well, Julian Ramirez is one guy, defensive tackle, 6'3", 255. You want to watch out for. Moving around in the pocket is Lynn. He goes right. He's got some room, stops, throws. Campbell, and what a one-handed catch by Campbell. He's brought down at the half-yard line, but Campbell, coming back to his quarterback, reaches up with his left hand and pulls it in, and the Falcons are now inside the 1-yard line.
Cougars collapse the pocket once again, but Lynn was able to stay alive just long enough to get that ball to Campbell, and like you said, Campbell made a very nice catch right there.
Lynn right under center, looks to be a QB sneak, and it is. He pushes, he gets some help from the back, and he's into the end zone. The Falcons score first and a touchdown. And as the bodies start to pile off of each other, it's a 1-yard rushing touchdown for James Lynn. But the Falcons taking advantage of that big pass interference call. Set them up at the 30-yard line after. They were able to punch it in. In to kick, Andre Casas, the freshman. Up through the uprights and good. Falcons take a 7-0 lead. 2:26 left in the first quarter. Peter, we were talking about how this Falcons team utilizes the passing game a lot, especially when you have a senior quarterback like Lynn. But on that, Matt Montgomery was able to open up some lanes a little bit and I think spread the Cougars defense out, which might have been able to open up the pass game a little bit more.
I think that would be a smart game plan for the Falcons. You know, teams, when they're scheming for this Falcons offense, they're going to look at those passing offensive numbers. So like you said, using the rushing game to hopefully bring the defense down a bit. And then obviously once that defense is brought down, you can open things downfield with your explosive passing attack. But, for instance, if they came in and just went pass, well, Cougars are going to be ready for that. So by utilizing the rushing game pretty effectively, the Cougars now got to be on their toes, and they're not sure whether they're going to go pass or rush.
So Falcons strike first in this rivalry match between Concordia, Wisconsin and Concordia, Chicago. Kick is all the way to the back of the end zone.
Nice kickoff there.
And up the right side and making room as he's brought down at the 25-yard line. Was Elliott.
It's a nice way to utilize some space there. Went into an open lane. Got a couple extra yards out of that. So be interesting to see how the Cougars handle their sideline communications on this drive. It's kind of been their Achilles heel so far this game. Interesting to see if this is going to get better. As we do see, looks like Sepulveda is coming back into the game under center. So
it's a good sign if you're a Cougars fan, is Jordan Sepulveda back in at quarterback. As we mentioned, last drive, a couple snaps were taken by Nate Bailey. Nice pass from Sepulveda up the middle. He finds a man. And it's a good first down pass. And the offense is moving for the Cougars. It was a big reception to number 16, Trey Warden.
So I think the Cougars offense would benefit from more plays like that. We've seen a lot of rushes up the gut for the
Cougars offense working fast. Sepulveda takes it himself, couple yards up the middle. So Troy Prattley is actually listed as number 5, a little correction from our rosters. So Troy Prattley was in a couple times last drive. The freshman Troy Prattley was in. With Sepulveda back, Cougars get a 2-yard gain on the Sepulveda run. And another false start call. Looked to be on the left side of the line. And a snap infraction was called on the Cougars.
So if you want to look at a positive sign for the Cougars offense right now, a lot of their drives have just been stalled by miscommunications, penalties, things like that. So it's not as if their offense is being completely stuffed by the Falcons defense. So hopefully if the Cougars can get their communication going, this offense will be able to put some points up on the board.
Man in motion, bottom side, Sepulveda. Quick pass, finds a man up the middle. And he's brought down at the 45-yard line. Trey Warden again on the reception.
So we might see that become the Cougars' go-to play right now. We saw that earlier in a drive, a nice little completion up the middle. Get some extra yards out of your receiver, yards after catch. See if they can continue doing that or if they got something else in their playbook.
Again, Cougars sending McKinney in motion. Sepulveda looking left side. Tipped in the air. It's anybody's ball. And just out of the hands of a diving Falcons lineman. It looked to be Jacob Warwick, who was able to get a hand on the ball and tip it high into the air, but was not able to corral it for an interception. But Cougars are lucky on that one.
Falcons have been doing that a lot this game, picking up on that man-in-motion offense. They've almost read that play just about perfectly.
Second down and 10. 17 seconds left in the first quarter. Falcons up 7-0. McKinney in motion again to the right side. Sepulveda drops back, looks right, drops it down to Daniels. He's on a screen, and good play in the backfield by Evan Lishka. The junior defensive back held on to the ankle of Daniels, didn't allow for the screen. And that's the end of the first quarter. It's a quick one. The Falcons lead the Cougars 7-0 after a 1-yard touchdown run from James Lynn. We're going to take a quick break, and we'll be back with more Cougar football in a minute. Welcome back. Second quarter just about to start here at Cougar Stadium. Carter Gledhill, Peter Borkowski on the call for this Saturday afternoon of NAC football between the Falcons and the Cougars. Sepulveda with the first play of the second quarter to Covington, his first reception of the day. Not enough to get the first down, but the Cougars able to chop down their deficit in half.
So McKinney was in motion again in the backfield, but we haven't seen him really been part of the play calling so far. You almost got to think, is he more of a security blanket in case Sepulveda needs to dump it really quick? But interesting to see that. He's been in motion a lot and just hasn't seen the ball a lot either.
Bradley back to punt. Pierre Summers, the third, will receive it for the Falcons. Wobble, it's going to roll and just into the end zone. So for a touchback on Prattley's punt. And the Falcons come back onto the field for some offense.
Say, in that first quarter, the Cougars did outgain the Falcons in yards about 77-24, and you've seen that before in the Falcons' other games. They've not gained a lot of yards over their opposition yet. They're still 2-1, so kind of an impressive feat by the Falcons that despite having a negative yard differential, they're still able to pull wins out.
Lynn fakes the throw, hands it off to Montgomery. Right side, he gets about a yard before he's tackled. Looks to be Julian Ramirez in at the bottom of the pile. Falcons get one. It's 2nd and 9. Three receivers to the left side. Two to the right. Empty backfield for Lynn. It's a QB draw. Puts on some moves. Little left to right action and is able to get the first down. Crosses the 30-yard line. But Lynn shimmies his way around the Cougars' defense.
Some nice blocking by the Falcons down the field that allowed Lynn to get that yardage.
As much as we talked about Lynn as a throwing threat, he's also a running threat, as you could see there. He can pull it down and run to get the first down when needed. Actually, the referee marks him short. Just stepped out before 30. It's going to be 3rd and 1. Wobbly snap. Montgomery is tackled in the backfield. I think that snap was a little delayed and slowed, and that's why
Not a clean
I think
snap.
there was a clean exchange between Lynn and Montgomery. So it's going to bring up 4th down for the Falcons.
Looks like they will be going for it. Oh, of course, they could also be trying to draw the defense offside, but kind of a gutsy play to go for it this far down in their own territory.
The Cougars are able to stop him here. They'd be given a gift in Falcon territory. It's going to be a little pooch punt, and Lynn just sends a wobbler, almost hits a Cougar, and it does. It hits off the back of a Cougar. Referee drops the blue beanbag. The Cougar able to jump back on it. But an interesting play there, as it looked like one of the Falcons players was guiding a Cougar to the ground and then just stopped him, so it hit the ball in turn, making it a live ball.
A little surprised no flag was thrown on that play. The Falcons player there was a lot of interaction between him and the Cougars player before the ball even touched the ground. Very surprised no kind of flag came out on that.
It's one of those pooch punts we've seen more and more. It's more of a high school thing, but it's just a nice change of play. If you don't see the defense and what you want, you can just boot it away. Cougars, it was an option play. Sepulveda pulls it down, and he's tackled for a couple yards before being brought down by Connor Stroming. Second and 5 for the Cougars. Play clock is ticking down. It's at 15 seconds. We've mentioned Cougars had to take 2 timeouts in the first quarter on their opening drive. They're able to get the snap off in time. Daniels with the carry. He's able to push it up a little bit more. And it'll be close to the first down marker. But they're going to mark him short and say it's 3rd and 1.
So those are the kind of rushing plays you kind of hope to see from the Cougars a bit more as the game goes on. A lot of their rushing plays in the first quarter were rushes up the gut. Did not get a lot of yardage out of them, but we saw in that play Daniels was able to cut out to the outside a bit more, got a bit more yardage because of that. So
little bunch up in the line, and Sepulveda is going to push the pile. They went 3 backs, and the Cougars get 3 yards. And they get the first down. So Cougars have had no problems getting the first down so far in the game, especially on the 3rd downs. That's now their 7th first down, but still nothing to show for. And they've been just taking short, choppy plays, really, to just kind of break down the Falcons' defense. That's why we've seen them stall out so much. Daniels will switch sides on Sepulveda. McKinney in motion again. Jet sweep handoff. McKinney finds a burst of speed, is up the sideline, and then gets plowed down to the ground. Good play on the right side by Evan Lishka as he picks up McKinney and drops him to the turf.
Say, speaking on the fact that the Cougars have been able to get yardage this game, you got to wonder maybe that is the Falcons' defensive philosophy, that kind of bend but don't break idea that, yeah, they might give up those little yardage plays, but eventually the offense can't keep doing those and expect to score touchdowns. So Falcons might be okay giving up these short yard plays.
Falcons allowing 188 yards a game on defense. Sepulveda drops back, looks over his left shoulder, and drops it at the feet of the intended receiver.
So as I addressed earlier, Falcons do have a negative yard differential on the season, yet are still sitting above 500.
So 3rd and short. Cougars need to convert to keep the drive alive. They do another jet sweep action, but Sepulveda pulls it back. He was close to the marker, but the head line judge looks to be walking just to the left of the first down mark, and it's going to be 4th and 2.
I think you got to go for it in this situation. You're kind of in that weird position where at this point a punt is likely just to be a touchback, and at that point you're not gaining much yards through it. So, and it's not awful field position if you don't convert. So might as well go for it and see if you can continue the offensive drive.
So Sepulveda sends Warden in motion. Handoff, Daniels. He tries to make a man miss, and it's not going to happen, and he's brought down to the backfield. Forward progress stopped short of the line to gain. Juan Diaz in on the tackle, and the Falcons will get the ball on the turnover on downs.
So we saw that drive. Falcons did give up some yardage, but when their defense needed to stand tall, they did exactly that. Stopped the 4th down attempt, and offense coming back on the field for the Falcons.
The Cougars have run the ball so far 16 times in the game. Really pounding the rock, and especially because Daniels is back in the lineup after his 2-game absence. Lynn all alone in the backfield. Sends up a lobbing pass down the right side, and it's hauled in. Good catch on the right side. Tim Houlihan with the reception. Big play for the Falcons.
So you wonder if the Falcons are ready to cash in on all those rushing attempts they had earlier in the game, ready to open the offense up a little bit more downfield now that the Cougars know that they're much willing to rush the ball as they are throw it.
Big chunk of change picked up by the Falcons, and nobody in sight for Lynn. He'll slide down just in front of the 10-yard line. And they're going to mark the ball where he started his slide, so it'll be at like the 13, possibly the 14. So ball set at the 14-yard line is what the referee says. Lynn again alone in the backfield, looks for a man, finds him. Ooh. Incomplete.
Kind of surprised no PI call on that play.
Lenny Woods was in on that play. Went low to the Falcons receiver. No flag thrown. It's going to be a 2nd down.
So it looks like he made contact before the throw got there, but maybe got away with the play there, but, no one on the Cougar sideline is going to complain about that.
So Falcons inside the red zone, courtesy of that Tim Houlihan 32-yard reception. Lynn drops back, pulls it down, looking right, finds a man in the back, and it's in and out of the hands of Houlihan. He had a man in the back corner of the end zone, but Falcons not able to convert. It's going to bring up 3rd and 10.
Say we see Lynn really using his mobility now to escape any pressure and look for the open man downfield. Maybe adapting to that play calling we saw from the Cougars throughout the game where they're trying to collapse the pocket in on him. Hope maybe he's trying to pick up on that and extend some plays now.
Opponents have converted 45% of 3rd downs on the Cougars defense this year. Looking left, Lynn finds a man and a touchdown. Strikes it in the end zone for Sam Campbell. 14-yard touchdown, and the Falcons go up 13-0 with an ensuing extra point.
Say that looked like the Falcons offense we've been hearing about. A lot of passing, a lot of attacks downfield. Not much in the rush game that drive, but obviously got the job done with the touchdown.
Kick is up, and it's good. Falcons take a 14-point lead over the Cougars. So really it's been 2 big passing plays that have set up the Falcons offense. That one play, Tim Houlihan on that last drive for 32 yards down the right side. And really on that one drive where they scored earlier too. It was that one play to Sam Campbell that just brought outside of the goal line, so it set him up at the 1-yard line.
Yeah, I mean, that looks to be the Falcons' game plan right now, as we saw them really pound the rock in the first quarter. Cougars probably tried to adapt to that rushing strategy, and now once the Cougars made that game plan decision, the Falcons made the decision to open things up downfield, and now we're starting to see them put points up on the board because of it.
14-0 Falcons. 7:34 left in the first half. Back deep to receive the kick for the Cougars, Drew Elliott. Freshman wide receiver from Naples, Florida. To his left, Ty McKinney. And the kick is a low flyer. McKinney gets it, and he'll take it at the 10. He changes course and tries to wrap it up the right side. He's got a lane, but good pursuit by the Falcons. Brings him down just outside of the 20-yard line.
So McKinney's got some speed to his game. You would kind of hope that we've seen him in the backfield a lot and a lot of motion before the snap. Maybe it'd be a good decision for the Cougars to try and utilize him downfield more, open up this passing attack that the Cougars really haven't had during this game.
So the Cougars have rushed the ball for 16 times on the game. They have more first downs than the Falcons. And the same amount of passing yards, too. About Falcons 59.
Oh.
And there's his interception. And taken back to the end zone by number 5, Josiah McDermott. And just like that, the Cougars are now finding themselves down 20.
Say maybe possibly one of the worst things that could happen to the Cougars right now is a pick six, just in terms of team morale. You know, you're already down 14-0. You know, you really want to get back in the game, and obviously a pick six never helps, but this situation especially.
Now a stoppage of play. So a timeout for an illegally equipped player on the field. First time I've seen that call this year. Obviously, safety a priority. Snap, hold is good. Kick up through the uprights. And the Falcons, with a quick turn of events, now up 3 touchdowns on the Cougars. So, Peter, back-to-back, we've seen the Falcons not only do it on offense, and they just did it on defense with that pick six. If you're the Cougars on the sidelines, what are you trying to make? What adjustments are you talking about?
Well, like I said, I think obviously it's kind of almost a contradiction to say this right after pick six, but I think the Cougars would really be wise to try and open the passing game downfield. We've seen a lot of their game plans so far has consisted of running the ball and then short check down passes and then hoping that your receiver is able to pick up some yards after a catch. So maybe a lot more routes downfield, Sepulveda trying to hit some of those targets downfield that could open up the offense, possibly open up the rush game as well, as the Falcons have to then adjust to not only a short game that the Cougars are playing, but also ideally a long game that the Cougars are going to try and play. I think this drive is very, very pivotal in the game right now for the Cougars. They're able to get a touchdown after this, kind of erase that pick six off the board. That's a pretty major morale boost right there. And then, of course, the ramifications of the score itself make this a 14-point game once again.
Casas in the kick. Boots it shorter than usual to the 20, and it's a fair catch. And the Cougars will just take the ball and just set up shop. Cougars, though, 2 times as much possession in this game. Had the ball for 15 minutes. The Falcons, 7.5. But the damage has been done by the Falcons as big plays and that hurry-up offense led by James Lynn, the senior quarterback, has sped up the game very much.
The Falcons waste no time trying to get to the end zone.
Sepulveda, snap takes him right, was able to get the handoff to Daniels, and he's pushed out of bounds just at the line of scrimmage by number 4, Cameron Altwater. So 2nd and 10, 7:02 left in the second quarter. Carter Gledhill, Peter Borkowski with you on the broadcast today. Sepulveda hands it off again to Daniels. We mentioned it earlier, Peter, that the Cougars are trying to run the ball. Right now in the second quarter, it looks like they've been hitting a wall.
Yeah, I mean, rushing it up the gut's kind of all or nothing play almost. You're usually going to run right into the offensive line or defensive line and get stuffed almost at the line of scrimmage, or you're going to be able to break through and get a nice gain. And thus far this game, they've not really been able to get anything out of that play. I'm questioning a little bit why they keep deciding to run it almost when it just does not seem to be effective.
Well, 2 seniors and a junior are in that 3-man front for the Falcons. So veteran experience. Draw play. Daniels finds a lane, makes a man miss. He's up on the sideline, crosses the 50, and he's shoved out of bounds.
Good run right there.
In Falcon territory, but the big play the Cougars needed, and it came from their playmaker, DeAndre Daniels.
Yeah, I think Daniels, he's got the talent to get these big kind of plays, but I think you also got to design the play around that, rushing him up the gut. Whatever running back you have on offense isn't always going to be able to make that work. So offensive line did a really good job opening up the side there for Daniels, and then obviously he did a good job finding that gapping hole and then exploiting it for a nice long play.
Longest run of the day for Daniels. He'll take a breather.
Looks like Prattley took the run right there.
Prattley's been able to get a couple carries, not just as the backup quarterback, but he's been utilized in this offense very well, listed as the 3rd running back on the Cougars depth chart.
They had quite a few carries against, I believe it was Aurora in that game. So kind of a utility man almost for the Cougars. We've seen him take some snaps at QB, some snaps at running back, and if I'm not mistaken, I believe he's also their punter. So a little bit of a can-do-it-on-the-field kind of player.
Sepulveda hands it off. Daniels back in. Falcons are signaling the ball is out. The umpire says forward progress was stopped. It'll be 3rd down and about 7 yards to go.
We saw on that play, Daniels kind of waited a second before he started his run, kind of gauged where the offensive line was. Be interesting to see if he starts doing that a bit more to hopefully get the run game going for the Cougars.
Ward in motion right is on the wheel route. Sepulveda winds up for a big one. Now he has to pull it down, runs up the middle. And he was trying to set up the long ball. It looked like Christian Covington had nobody in his area. He was going to the right corner of the end zone. But Sepulveda able to make something out of nothing and put the Cougars at a 4th down and manageable if they decide to go for it.
So I think in this game situation, I think you got to, again, as we saw earlier, kind of that awkward position where a punt would probably be a touchback, and you're not going to gain much out of that. But also you look at the scoreboard, a touchdown would be very beneficial for the Cougars right now. I think it would be best if they went for it, which at this point it looks like they will.
Cougars were held scoreless in their game against Aurora and line up to go for it here. Quick snap. Sepulveda drops back, but a stoppage in play. But the Cougars call a timeout before the snap, so that's their 3rd and final timeout. But obviously the coaches didn't like what they saw in the Falcons' defense and decided to chat about it on the sideline.
So we see Cougars out of timeouts now with 3:03 left in the half. Got to wonder if that's going to come back to bite them later if they're able to get the ball back before half and hopefully close this gap between them and Wisconsin right now.
Well, I think what they're deciding right now is if they go for it, they are basically going to try to wind the clock down as much as they can. They've done that so far, as we mentioned, the time of possession difference, as the Cougars almost have twice as much time on the field than the Falcons. But the thing is, if you fail to convert here, you give it back in the hands of a Falcons offense that showed countless times already throughout this game that they can hit you with the deep ball as well as run it.
Say 3:03 for the Falcons is an eternity. They're very easily capable of getting downfield with that amount of time left on the clock. So big conversion here for the Cougars if they're able to get it.
So the Cougars offense will stay on the field. Trey Warden will be on the left side near backfield. Daniels motioned out. They're going to swing past it to him. Good play. Cougars get the first down and more. And down the sideline goes Daniels. And a touchdown, Cougars. What started as a short play to Daniels turns into a big one. And the Cougars are finally on the board with that beauty of a play. Beautiful execution from Daniels, finding the hole and taking it up the sideline. That's the play, Peter, that the Cougars have been waiting for all day.
As I said, I think Daniels is one of those players that if you give him the space, you give him the open field, he's going to make the most of it. And we saw right there after that a little dump off to him on the wing. He had lots of field to work with, and he definitely did.
Ryan Oyer boots it through the uprights, and the Cougars get 7 on the board. 2:54 left in the second quarter. And you can see on the Cougars sideline, revitalized and energized as everybody's high-fiving and congratulating each other as they needed that one big time.
I think that energy is going to be key. If this defense can get a stop here against this high-powered Falcons offense, I think that really put this Cougars energy over the top. I say you also got to think that's their first touchdown they've scored in quite a long time, so obviously they got to be happy with that as well. Key defensive stand here for the Cougars, though.
Falcons scored in 1 minute 4 seconds on their last drive, and they were able to cover 57 yards on that drive.
Say 2:54 left on the half. That's plenty of time for this Falcons offense if they're able to execute.
Another little pop shot kick. Takes the receiver back, and it actually rolls all the way and taken inside of the 5-yard line.
Very nice break there for the Cougars. They're going to have some really nice field position for this defense.
Ajarius Kelly was on the play. Looked like it went right through his hands and then rolled all the way to the sideline.
Wasn't able to get his hands on it.
And so that pins the Falcons deep into their own territory. And the ball is placed at the 4-yard line.
Say key drive here for both teams. You got to think about how is this Cougars defense going to think if they allow this a long drive out of what is great field positioning. But, of course, they get a stop to get the ball back. Hopefully they can make this a 7-point game with another touchdown before half.
Lynn with Montgomery to his left. Hands it off. And you can see a swarm of maroon around the ball. No gain for the Falcons.
Say another benefit of field position right now for the Cougars, other than just having Falcons so backed up, is Lynn doesn't have as much space to work in the backfield, which means those long, explosive, offensive passing plays that the Falcons are known for probably aren't going to be happening right now. So they kind of got to rely on that short game and that run game to get them out of this tricky situation.
Cougars rely heavily on their front four for pressure. And they need some more here. 2nd and 10. Lynn alone in the backfield. Drops back, looks across the middle of the field. And it's intercepted! Intercepted across the middle. This is by Lenny Woods, and he takes it inside of the 10, inside of the 5. And the Cougars get the play they needed.
That's one of those game-changing momentum swings right now that the Cougars have been looking for. If they can cash in on this, which you obviously hope they can, just a few yards from that goal line. It's a 7-point game that, totally changes not only the momentum, but obviously just the game itself. So great play here by the Cougars.
So a tipped pass into the hands of Lenny Woods. And now the Cougars, who were down 21-7, with just under 3 minutes to play in the quarter, find themselves within the 5-yard line with a chance to punch it in. A big turn of events here for CUC as Sepulveda will take the snap under center. Motions a man left, and it's a pitch to the left. And he's going to be marked outside of the end zone. It was to Ty McKinney on the pitch over the left.
I say that's got to be one of the bigger momentum swings you've seen in a football game. Wisconsin was up 21-0 coming off that pick six. Cougars come down, get a nice touchdown from Daniels on what should have been just a fourth down conversion, and then another pickoff by the Cougars puts them right in prime position to get another touchdown.
So Sepulveda's off the field now. Troy Prattley is into the game. He is now in shotgun. He makes a man go in motion. And a flag is thrown, false start. So that's a big blow to momentum right now.
So it looks like Prattley will be staying in the game. Interested to see what Lambert or the offensive coordinator's process behind that decision is.
False start called on David Cherry. He moves the Cougars back 5. And still in. Prattley cuts it back, makes a man miss. He's able to get some yardage. But now it's third down and goal looks to be at the 5-yard line.
Say about 40 seconds left on the clock.
Cougars have to hurry. As you mentioned, they have no timeouts.
Timeouts, that's right.
Time is winding down.
Again, 2 of them were taken to prevent delay of game penalties. Those never help, so could see that coming back to bite the Cougars.
Third down, Prattley in, steps back, looks to throw, has a man, touchdown Cougars! Christian Covington with his first touchdown reception of the game, the senior. Making a big play from the freshman quarterback. Troy Prattley to Covington, and the Cougars have stormed back and are an extra point away from being down a touchdown. Kick is up and blocked.
Oh.
And it's picked up by the Falcons. They try to take it back. They play rugby now. And they're brought back. Ball is still live. Picked up. And down the right side of the field they go. It's still a live ball. And now it's finally stopped. But a bunch of hands were grabbing on that. And the last person I could see that had a hand on the ball was Evan Lishka before he was able to get tackled down. But the kick was blocked. So the Cougars now down 21-13.
Say one of the more.
So the explanation from the referee is that there were illegal forward passes by the Falcons, so even if they did score on that rugby-style play, it would have not counted. So nothing changes. Cougars still kick off to the Falcons with 19 seconds left.
Say one of the more interesting plays you'll see in college football. Kind of a lot of desperation attempts there by the Falcons special team unit to make something out of it, but like you said, some illegal forward passes would have wiped any points off the board anyway, so.
I'd like to give a quick shout-out to all of our production staff, Chandler Kerr, Emily Balaban, Kayla Jackson, Wyatt McLaughlin, and Ryan McGee. We're working behind the scenes alongside with Kristen Keller and Justin Bajorseth. So thank you for for tuning in to the Cougar Sports Network for this Saturday afternoon of football. And now we have a whistle blown. Looks like Andy Lambert is yelling at the referee about something. He was able to get the attention from the side judge to stop the kickoff.
Say he's got no timeouts left, so you know it's not a timeout.
So the side judge, Steve McLaughlin, was the one that stopped play. Brett Anderson is in, and now the referee, Jeremy Mansilla, are talking with head coach Andy Lambert. But a wild turn of events for the Cougars. Started with a touchdown, and then the Cougars were able to get it back on a huge interception by the freshman Lenny Woods. And then after that, the conversion and connection between Troy Prattley and Christian Covington to bring it to 13-21. The extra point was blocked. And now the Cougars kick off another short pooch kick. Taken at the 30. Brought up the sideline and pushed out of bounds. Rico Griffin took the kickoff, knocked a bench over after the fact too.
Well, we talked about how the Falcons like to really air the ball out. They're really going to need to do this now, less than 20.
So some extra time is going to be run off the game clock. Referee says 5 seconds, so it's brought to 14.4 seconds left. It doesn't look like the Falcons are going to do anything on offense, even though they have 3 timeouts left. Falcons will take a knee.
That'll be half.
And it'll take an 8-point lead into the half. What seemed to be the Falcons running away with the game, up 21-0. Turn to the Cougars coming back and scoring 13 in the last 3 minutes of the quarter. But it's a new ball game. Falcons 21, Cougars 13. We'll take a halftime break and come back for some more second half action on the Cougar Sports Network. Welcome back. Second half football. Concordia, Wisconsin, Concordia, Chicago. It's 21-13 Falcons. Carter Gledhill, Peter Borkowski with you on the call. And Peter, it was an exciting end of that second half.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of big momentum switch towards the Cougars side. Things weren't looking good, down 21-0, coming off a pick six, but they got that touchdown to get 7 on the board, and then they got their own pickoff and then converted that into another touchdown. Mixed the extra point, but obviously you'll take that touchdown. So see if they can keep the momentum up.
And the second half is opened up with a kick all the way to the left side. Ty McKinney takes it. He'll reverse fields. He'll do it again. Puts on the brakes and takes it up the middle. He's got some good move. And he's taken down at the 26-yard line.
I mentioned this earlier, and I hope we see it this half, getting McKinney in the offense a bit more. He's got some good speed, got some good moves to him that we just saw in that kickoff return right there. I think he could be a potential weapon for the Cougars offense this half if they utilize him correctly.
Dalton Lardnoise on the tackle. We mentioned the Cougars were able to take the time of possession and run with it through the first half. They had 8 first downs to the 5 of the Falcons. They were able to put up 177 total yards of offense. See if they can build off that. It's going to be a handoff to the left, and it's going to be broken up all the way back down. Official says he's down.
Looks like the ball got out of bounds.
Cougars are fortunate. But on the carry, Trey Warden.
Say all game, Falcons have been picking up on that backfield action.
Cornell Davis, the second on that carry. So sideline warning called. Interesting call there. Doesn't change the fact that the Cougars are now backed up way far. Big loss. Pradley. Little screen pass. That's Warden. And he's only able to get 1-2 yards on that as if. With this Falcons defensive line, Cameron Kohler, Brogan Howard, Jacob Warwick have been very good at stuffing the run game of the Cougars in the first half. Held them to 77 rushing yards. And really, if it wasn't for that DeAndre Daniels big run up to the right side that we saw earlier in the half of just about 25 yards, there's not much going there. Daniels is in motion, out. Pradley making men miss, looks good, and then gets decked. Big hit. And the takedown. And that blow was delivered by number 42, Justice Canetta.
Say we've been seeing him switch between Pradley and Sepulveda all game as we see Pradley now in the backfield to take the punt. But you got to think maybe does it have something to do with Pradley's mobility? We saw he had a lot of rushes, a lot of touches against Aurora. Maybe he brings that aspect to the game more than Sepulveda does.
And another chance, the Falcons almost blocked again. This time, it'll just be taken over the 50-yard line. Pierre Summers III able to crawl his way over, get a couple yards on the return.
So Falcons special teams has done a good job getting in the backfield, whether it be a punt. We saw that he almost got the block there. They did get a roughing the punter earlier in the game, and then they obviously have a block field goal under their name right now. So special teams doing some damage in the backfield whenever the Cougars out to punt or kick.
So Falcons started with the run. Montgomery able to get a couple, but slammed down. Julian Ramirez has been a force to be reckoned with on that front line for the Cougars. The 6'3 junior has just been dominating the front and has really shut down the run game. Not much going for the Falcons in that department today. as a big fly pass down to the left and just in and out of the hands of Sam Campbell. He was able to get a touchdown earlier, but they're trying to find him again. So another try at a shot for a big play for the Falcons. Not able to convert on that. Going to bring up 3rd and 8.
Say that the two plays we've seen the Falcons run so far, kind of representative of what they've been doing all game. We saw them try and rush the ball, get the Cougars defense, up the field, and then the very next play they attack down the field. So interested to see if that continues for them.
Big 3rd down here for the Falcons. Lynn backs up again, takes a step up, and is brought down in the backfield. Julian Ramirez on the play, as well as some assistance as the Cougars defense comes up big again.
Yeah, they have been getting into the pocket all game, but we saw at the end of the first half, or at least second quarter onwards, Lynn kind of adapted, got more mobile with his footwork, was able to escape pressure. Interesting to see if that's going to continue to be the case, or if the Cougars are actually going to start getting to him and start putting some sacks on the board.
Eric Molina was able to get in as well, but a Cougar was running off the field late, so it's going to be 12 men on the field as flags fly. Christian Covington with the fair catch, but we saw at the last second one Cougar sprinting to the sidelines. Jeremy Mansilla, the referee for today, over talking to the head coach of the Falcons, Greg Etter. So the Falcons declined the penalty. They would have to re-kick if they did accept.
I say it was a pretty good punt, pinned him. Looks like they're placing it around the 20-yard line, maybe. Good kick, maybe not a lot of, practicality to re-kicking it. Might as well just decline it and go with it. So,
Christian Covington on that punt return, not able to run. He had 3 receptions and a touchdown, only 12 yards on the day. But he is a big part of this offense. So now bringing in Covington, switching sides, Prattley still at quarterback. Omarion Hicks was in the backfield, but it looks like Prattley wasn't able to hand it off to him, and he gets swallowed and dropped.
Once again, Falcons almost immediately picked up with what the Cougars are doing in the backfield. Got really nothing out of that.
Troy Prattley, a 5'9 freshman from St. Joseph, Michigan, from St. Joseph High School. Little undersized for a quarterback. He's been taking some beatings from the big linemen of the Falcons. It'll be a loss of 4, 2nd and 14. Man in motion. Bobbled snap, and it's a fumble. Prattley jumps on it. But possible danger for the Cougars if that ball squeaked away. Luckily, took a favorable bounce right back into the chest of Prattley. But right now, the Cougars are moving the wrong way on the field. And sets up a very long 3rd down. Jack Russman, the assistant coach, is signaling in plays. We've seen some confusion before. He looks like he's the sole man doing it now. As that ball handed off to Daniels. Daniels finds some room and takes it up the sideline. Daniels over the 30. Daniels to the 35. Throw down at the 40 and a big, big play. DeAndre Daniels coming up big again for the Cougars. It'll give them a 1st down and some breathing room as they near the the midfield mark.
So ever since maybe the halfway point of the second quarters, Daniel's vision looks like it's gotten a lot better as the game goes on. He's doing a really good job of finding holes in the line and exploiting that space for some big yardage. So hope to see that continue out of Daniels. As we see Sepulveda's back on the field with Prattley, wondering what they're going to be running here.
Prattley has been used more as an athlete, I would say, in this game. He's been in the quarterback spot, but now you can see he's in the backfield. You mentioned he took a couple snaps as well in Aurora and some handoffs, so that's big. It looks like another false start on the Cougars. They'll move back again. Right now, Peter, it just looks like the Cougars have just been setting themselves up poorly in to start the drives. As this one, again, they're going backwards.
Yeah, when I think the offense is running and when they're communicating properly, we see them moving the chains or moving downfield, getting good field position. But a lot of times it's those delay of game penalties that we saw earlier, or having to take timeouts, mishandled snaps, handoffs that are really driving them back.
They'll hand it off to Daniels again, and he's got another room with some good blocking on the side. Good blocking from Trey Warden sealed the edge. And DeAndre Daniels picks up another big Cougar first down.
Yeah, I mentioned it a lot in the first half, how the Cougars' rushing game plan seemed to be a lot of Daniels running it up the gut. It seems that at halftime, Lambert made an adjustment, decided to have Daniels run towards the outside a lot more, use that speed, use that vision he's got, and we've seen that pay off in dividends right now for the Cougars as he's basically moving them down the field almost single-handedly. 2
big plays from DeAndre Daniels. As we mentioned, was absent the last 2 games, but had a big game against Beloit with 146 yards. And he'll get another chance to carry it here. Stuffed at the line of scrimmage. Falcons thought they got the ball, but he's ruled down.
Like you said, Daniels missed the last 2 games, so we didn't really see him get going in that first half, or at least most of the first half for the Cougars, so you could easily chalk that up to, just getting his legs back under him in a game-time situation after missing 2 straight games, because ever since later in the second quarter, he's looked pretty spot on.
It's that second burst of energy that he gets when he's able to turn the corner and get up the sideline that's really helped the Cougars in the rushing department. Sepulveda hands it off to Prattley, and he is stuffed in the backfield. Taken down by Chase Coots. And he was untouched and blew up the play.
We've seen that a lot out of the Falcons defense, just plowing through the Cougars offensive line and blowing up the rushing play before it even really gets started. So Daniels back in, Prattley out.
So it'll be 3rd and 13. Cougars have been bailed out by DeAndre Daniels, but now there's 5 seconds on the play clock, nearing down, and another timeout is taken. This is the 3rd time now that the Cougars had to waste a timeout because of play clock management.
So we saw that in the, last bit of the first half as time was running down. The Cougars didn't have a timeout to work with. Obviously worked out in their favor in the end. They got the touchdown they needed. But especially now once we get towards the end of that fourth quarter, that lack of timeouts that they might have if these, delay of game keep happening, you got to be ready for that. So.
And Peter, I would just say that this is really just killing some of the momentum that the Cougars have had. I mean, they've had 2 big plays from Daniels on this drive, but they're not really doing much else, and something like this is not what you want to see.
No, I mean, obviously you got to think Daniels is kind of in that zone right now. It seems that everything he does with the ball is getting them big yardage, and then, you call a timeout that kind of kills the mood for a little bit, and especially when you need a really big play here to get a first down. Interesting to see what their tactic's going to be.
Daniels in motion, gets the swing pass, and he is taken back for a big loss. Cougars have struggled, and the Falcons knew that was coming as it seemed there were 3 white jerseys in the area.
I say, obviously, Daniels is having a really great start to the second half, but you don't want to start using him too much because, about any defense will key in on that. And as we saw there, they pretty much knew exactly that the ball was going to him, and they stopped him before he really got any yardage out of it. So
Josiah McDermott on the tackle. The Cougars send the punt team out. Good kick. And Summers will just swallow it up and drop it down at the 14-yard line. Let's see if the Cougars defense can put up another big stop of this Falcons offense. Falcons are looking to get something going and be the ones that score next after the Cougars have scored 13 points. Swing pass over to the left. Picked up by Lincoln Reichel.
Say one of the first plays I've seen like that out of the Falcons where they were okay getting, a check down. Obviously paid off. They got the first down, but a lot of their play calling so far have either been, rushes that don't gain that much yardage or, huge throws downfield that hopefully gain a lot of yards. So
Lynn will take it himself on a QB draw. Tyler Dudley, first man in on the tackle. Lynn will have to come out for a play because his helmet came off. So into the game, Yannick Gruna.
See, I bet we're going to see some pretty safe play calling here while Lynn recuperates on the sideline, hopefully ready for next play.
Hand off to Montgomery. Good speed up the middle. Falcons pick up a first down. Ball will be placed at the 46-yard line. Chains are moving.
See Lynn coming back in the game, so they went for the rush while he was out, and it paid off. They got that first down, and now that he's back in, I imagine they'll be trying to attack downfield once again.
Lynn rolls right out of the pocket and throws it off the back of a Cougar defender. In on the pursuit, number 94, Keyshawn Paisley. But that hit the back of Earl McIntyre in coverage. So it'll be 2nd and 10.
Say you never really want to have your back to the ball when you're trying to cover a receiver, but kind of paid off in that instance right there. Hit him right in back numbers.
3 receivers to the right. No flag thrown, screen pass. Campbell was able to escape pressure. But a good tackle by Colson Ethan Pua. Now a conversation between the line judge and the referee.
It looked like a Cougar jumped offside before the play. Nothing was called. Don't know if that's what they're talking about, but it's something to keep an eye on.
You do mention, Peter, that, yes, a Cougar did jump offside. No flag initially thrown. I think he was able to get back on his side.
Looked like it, yeah. You got to think they're talking about something else.
So a personal foul called on the Falcons. Penalty decline. It'll still be 3rd down. We'll get more information on that call if we get it. And the initial ruling on unnecessary roughness, a personal foul on the offense. So 3rd and 16 for the Falcons. Montgomery in motion. Lynn hustled, moving out right, looking for the long ball, is not going to get it. And now he's going to tuck it and run himself. Ramirez in pursuit. And he gets his legs taken out by Earl McIntyre on the sideline. But a broken play turned into positive yardage from Lynn.
So we see that a lot out of Lynn. He's able to take plays that don't look like they're going to turn out so well for the offense, look like a sack is incoming, and then, he's able to make something out of them with the use of his legs. You see that at a lot of quarterbacks in all kinds of levels now, those guys who can escape pressure and gain some yardage and also obviously have that big arm that we've seen Lynn have this game as well.
4th and 3, Falcons offense stays on the field. Greg Etter keeping it out there. 7 seconds on the play clock. Lynn takes a snap, and he's going to do the pooch punt again. Hangs, it's going to roll, take a sideways bounce, and roll back. And it'll be down at the 15-yard line. It's one of those things you have to honor as a defense. You don't want to be fooled out, so that's why they keep Lynn out there and just have him do a little punt.
Yeah, obviously the offensive goal of that is that, you're going to catch that defense off guard. They're not going to be ready for the punt, and you're going to get some good yards out of that rather than, you strut the punt unit out there and everyone kind of knows what's coming. So, but like you said, that's the second time they've run it this game. I'm questioning if we'd be able to see it a third time because you got to think the Cougars are kind of catching on to that, or at least you hope they would be.
Cougars have not scored since the late goings of the second quarter. They're going to do the swing pass against the Daniels. He's got some blockers, but he was taken down just for a few yards. Nasir Briggs on the tackle. Second and 6, just now under 3 minutes to play in the third quarter.
Say that little dump out to the wing seems to be one of the Cougars' go-to plays. Dump it out to your receiver and then hope he can pick up some yards after catch.
Little pitch pass. Daniels making men miss. Almost getting to the 25-yard line. He'll get to the 24, 3rd and 1.
See, I'd like to see the Cougars spread the offense out a bit more. You got to think the Falcons know that they're going to Daniels a lot. Obviously, once they figure that out, they're going to start really keying in on him, and your offense isn't going to go anywhere no matter how good that player is. So it might be a wise decision for the Cougars to start spraying the ball around a bit more.
Cougars 1 for 3 on the third down in the third quarter. Daniels chugs forward, picks up just enough for the first down. DeAndre Daniels has been the workhorse of the offense today, and he'll come out for a breather.
So, thinking back through the game, we haven't really seen the Cougars attack anything downfield. Sepulveda hasn't really made any of those big throw attempts. I wonder if we're going to see those pulled out in some point in the second half, hopefully catch the Falcons off guard, or if this is just kind of the game plan they're going to run is these short little attacks at the defense.
Cougars able to get the play off just in time. Hand off to Prattley. Pick up 2 yards. But again, the play clock winding down.
See Daniels back in for Prattley. You've got to think there's a good chance the ball's going to end up in his hands during this play.
At some point, the Cougars are going to have to air the ball out, too, as we near 40 seconds and counting in the third quarter. They do the swing pass again, and he's tripped up in the backfield. But again, 4 white jerseys surround Daniels. Ty McKinney on that one. But the Cougars have really not pushed the ball vertically. It's most been side to side in their passing game, trying to make defenders miss.
But the thing is that the Falcons aren't missing that. Usually they're picking up on it pretty easily and getting a couple guys over there that they're able to bring him down. So, like you said, you got to think they got to start moving this ball a bit more vertically, open up the offense.
Cougars won't get a playoff before the buzzer sounds. It'll be fourth quarter. Football soon as the players hold up 4 fingers, and they're excited for it. Cougars, Falcons, nobody scored in the third. We have 15 minutes of football left. We'll take a quick break, and we'll bring you that soon on the Cougar Sports Network. "15 minutes left in this game. The Falcons and the Cougars. 21-13 Falcons. Third down, Sepulveda dumps it off to Daniels, makes a man miss, but he's not going to get anywhere else. 4 more white jerseys around. And Justice Canetta was the lead man on that tackle. Peter, the third quarter was a different kind of Cougars offense than what we saw in the first half, let alone in the second.
Yeah, I mean, they are really using that, dump to the wing and hope that the guy with the ball in his hands can make some guys miss, get some good yards after catch, and it just isn't working right now for them.
Snap is just bobbled back, trying to get it off. And that was Bradley that was hit. It was deflected, and it goes out of bounds. So the Falcons special teams has been applying pressure all day to the punt unit of the Cougars.
Sometimes I don't think special teams, a lot of times ideally they kind of go unnoticed, but we're really seeing the Falcons special teams make an impact on this game. A lot of punts that just aren't able to get off cleanly. Even if they do get some decent yardage, there's always that kind of worry in the back of your mind that they're going to get a block, they're going to get, they're going to pick up a fumble, et cetera, et cetera. So could be one of those little intangibles that is kind of helping out the Falcons today.
Lynn just dumps it off to Christian Booker and is brought down near the sideline. Again, it's really been more of this half lateral football than vertical for both teams.
Yeah, and, for the Falcons, that almost makes sense. There's something to be said about always being aggressive, always going on the attack, but there's also something to be said about trying to kill some time off the clock when you got a lead. For the Cougars, it would make more sense to attack downfield, which we haven't seen yet.
Lynn drops back, moves up in the pocket, and he's brought down at the line of scrimmage. Earl McIntyre in the area, as well as Justin Aduo. 3rd and 10 for the Falcons.
So this would be a big stop here for the Cougars. Get the ball back really quick after having a little bit of a miscommunication on the last punt.
Lynn's moving around, Chased around by Ramirez, throws it, and broken up. Good defensive coverage there.
Flag,
but Peter, you mentioned there was a flag, and you see the Cougars defense signaling it was a tip.
There's a bit of a late flag too, so you got to think maybe the referee doesn't exactly know what he's going to call, but there definitely was some contact on the intended receiver. But as you mentioned, there was a tip, so that kind of goes into that. Was it really a catchable ball kind of situation?
So we're waiting the call now on the field. This could be a big swing of events. So an automatic first down for the Falcons offense. A pass interference called. Brendan Bogg.
This could be a bit of a momentum killer for the Cougars. And, obviously that if that play held up, it would have been fourth down. You imagine they would have gotten a punt. Now Wisconsin gets a second chance at a touchdown or a field goal and increase their lead.
Falcons have been doing a good job all game of taking advantage of Cougar penalties. One of the Cougars able to get in the backfield a little early before the snap. Montgomery picked up, slammed down. Tyler Dudley on the tackle. With support from some of his comrades.
So you mentioned, Falcons taking advantage of some Cougar penalties. And at the end of the game, you could, if this game holds up in terms of how close it is, you can say that, yeah, those penalties, those miscommunications really add up.
Another pass for the Falcons. This time finds a man and in the end zone, but looks to be a breakup. And again, Tim Houlihan, I should say, wasn't really able to corral that ball and bring it in. It was a low throw at the ankles. Made a diving attempt. But Cougars catch a break there as there was open field between Houlihan and the defender.
Say if that pass was a little higher, you got to imagine that would have been a touchdown.
3rd and 6. Lynn. Across the middle. Intended receiver, Ajarius Kelly. He wasn't able to bring it in. So it's 4th and 6 now. 2 incompletions for the Falcons after getting bailed out by a pass interference call. And they'll send the field goal team out.
Good stand by the Cougars defense right there. Obviously, it always hurts when you get a pass interference, give the offense a second chance, but they stood tall again and got another 4th down situation.
The kick is up, and it is no good. Wide to the left upright. Andres Casas was not able to punch it through. Cougars are able to take a sigh of relief, as it is still an 8-point ball game after the missed field goal.
Say pass interference is obviously something you never want to see, but you got to look at that as a win for the Cougars defense. They got one 4th down situation, then were able to force another one after an unfortunate pass interference call. So good stand there by the defense.
So let's see if this Cougars offense can put something together. They really haven't this entire second half.
So you got to think if there's a time when they're going to start attacking downfield, it's got to be now with just 12 minutes left in the game, still down by 8.
Sepulveda hands it off. Daniels finds the sideline, able to pick up a good chunk of yards before being chased out of bounds. Able to pick up about 4 yards. Peter, a lot of the plays, though, for the Cougars, besides the little bubble screens and swing passes they've been running, a lot of pitches and jet sweeps, too. They're really trying to exploit the outside.
Yeah, and when you got someone like Daniels, usually that can work when you got a player that explosive enough to exploit that space, but most defenses eventually key in on that.
This time we'll keep it inside the tackles. And he'll gain roughly 4 yards. Some chatter between the two teams after the play was done.
I think a check down pass right here would be a really good decision for the Cougars. They only need a little bit of yardage, but a handoff to Daniels, the defense is likely going to key in on that. So a short pass could be really beneficial to the Cougars to get that first
5
down.
seconds on the play clock. Cougars might have to take a timeout, and they do. There's a 4th time now the Cougars have had to call a timeout because of play clock issues. And now the Cougars are left with 1. The Falcons have not used a timeout this entire game. So they still have their 3 remaining in the half.
Obviously, you want to keep those timeouts for the end of the half when they really become pivotal. But if you are going to take a timeout before that, you wish it would be for getting the play calling right and not something like running out of time and hoping to prevent a delay of game. So definitely something the Cougars need to work on for future circumstances.
Cougars total 50 rushing yards in the third quarter, only 3 through the air, partially because everything has been to the outside and for short passing gains. And the Falcons have picked up on it.
A lot of negative yardage play, too, in the backfield. Plays getting blown up before they even really get it starting by the Falcons defense.
100 passing yards for the Cougars in the first half. Only 3 to show for in the third. And now Sepulveda is met by a defender in the backfield, and he is sacked for a loss. In on the tackle, Chase Coots. And it brings up 4th down.
Both defenses really standing tall in the second half. Still haven't seen any points be put up on the board this half. Could just be one of those kind of stalemate games until, unfortunately, the last minute. So we'll see what happens here. Someone's going to have to make an adjustment, though, the way these defenses are playing.
So the Falcons aggressive, a lot of guys on the line. Low snap again. He's able to get the punt away. 2 men back. Summers able to pick it up, and he is tackled at the 39-yard line.
It looked like a little miscommunication between the 2 guys in the back for the Falcons on terms of who was going to take that punt. It was kind of almost in between them. Obviously didn't get much yardage out of it in the end.
9:49 left in the game. Neither team has gotten close into opponent territory. Cougars offense has been pulled in weight by DeAndre Daniels and his rushing abilities. Lynn pulls it, finds a seam, gets over the 50-yard line, and he gets brought down by Lenny Woods.
Having a mobile quarterback in the backfield is just, it just complicates the offense even further for opposing defenses. You don't, even when the quarterback has the ball in his hand, you don't know if he's throwing it, you don't know if he's running it. A couple flags on the play.
Looked like one of the Cougars players was jogging off the field, so a flag was thrown. Substitution infraction called on the Cougars. It'll give the Falcons an extra 5 yards and make it 1st and 5.
We've seen that a couple times too. Cougar players running off the field at the last second, drawing some flags because of it. Again, it all kind of goes down to that communication thing that the Cougars seem to be having a problem with this game.
Clock is running. Man in motion. Did not give it, and Lynn is stuffed. And he's put back. Ball will be marked at the 50-yard line. No, they'll put it up a little bit more and give him forward progress.
Say another nice read there by the Cougars defense to blow that play up before it even got started.
Ball placed at the 46. Be 2nd and 9. Sam Campbell is off the line on the right side. He's one of the primary targets. Let's see if they go to him. Big fly ball. It is to Campbell, and it is broken up. Good defensive coverage.
No flags. Nice defensive play there.
Eric Wade, the freshman defensive back from Garland, Texas, on the breakup. We were waiting for one of those big balls to come, and it came right there, but good play by the freshman defensive back to break it up.
Like you said, we're kind of waiting for that big passing play to happen, and we haven't really seen that from the Falcons this half, even though that's kind of been their identity, it seems, this season. So wonder if they're maybe going to break it out a bit more to the rest of the game.
Lynn tried the hard count. Nobody jumped off sides. Cougars drop back. It's a screen pass to Montgomery. Makes one man miss, makes two, and he's able to jump across the first down marker. Good read by Matt Montgomery in the open field. Makes a couple defenders miss and gives the Falcons a new set of downs.
That play looked like he wanted it to look like for the Cougars defense. It got to the backfield quick, made Lynn have to pitch it real quick, but running back did a good job getting over that first line marker, getting him the new set of downs.
Empty backfield for the Falcons. Quarterback draw. Lynn takes it himself. He'll go up the middle, and he'll dive just over the 30-yard line, and that's what will be marked down.
You want to look at things that have had a really big impact on this game. I think Lynn's mobility can easily be placed in that category. We've seen him use it to escape pressure and what would easily be sack situations for less mobile quarterbacks. And then like we just saw there, he's able to pick up a nice chunk of yardage just through his legs. So could be a big impact down in the final score of this game.
2nd and 3. Handoff pulled back by Lynn. Good read. Textbook read on a read option. He'll move the chains, give the Falcons a new set of downs. Clock is running. Under 7 minutes now to play in the game.
As opposed to kind of what we've seen all game, the Falcons don't really look to be in any hurry on the offense. Now, to that credit, they are moving down the field pretty smoothly this drive, but hoping to kill some time off the clock as well in this one-possession game.
The Falcons have slowly been marching into Cougar territory in this drive, and they've been doing it in the rushing game. Montgomery again. He'll pick up about 6 yards.
Something else to keep notice of is that the Cougars aren't only down by 7, they're down by 8 after that blocked field goal at the end of the first half. That extra point could be a big factor down the line, whether, the Falcons score here or not.
Second and 4. High snap. Handoff, Montgomery. He breaks free and finds the end zone. He lowered the shoulder once he met the second level and powered his way into the end zone. The Falcons score for the first time in the second half. And the score is now 27-13.
Say first points in the second half period for either team. Both defenses standing tall up until this point.
Falcons just wore the Cougars defense down on that drive.
Say nice long drive, a lot of rushing. Like you said, that defense probably just got tired by the end.
Kick is up and good. 28-13 Falcons. Cougars have to go to work, and they need to do it quickly with 5:41 left in the game. Carter Gledhill, Peter Borkowski with you on the call. Want to give another shout out to our production crew. Chandler Kerr, Emily Balaban, Kayla Jackson, Wyatt McLaughlin, and Ryan McGee, as well as Kristen Keller and Justin Bajorseth. Bringing you today's coverage on the Cougar Sports Network. Next week, the Cougars are back on the road as they take on Eureka at 4 p.m. For the Falcons, they will play against Rockford.
See, Cougars' offense is really going to need to open up on this last drive. They're going to make up this 2-score deficit. A lot of passes downfield are going to need to happen, and to that point, we haven't seen that pretty much at all from the Cougars this game. So a radical change in game plan is needed if they're going to want to close this gap coming up.
Kickoff takes a bounce in the end zone for a touchback. Peter, to your point, the Cougars so far in this half, -1 passing yards. And a lot of that has been on those little screens and swing passes. 5 of them, to be exact. But every time in this second half that the Cougars have run them, the Falcons' defense has swarmed and made a stop. Cougars have 1 timeout left. They've taken 2 already due to play clock mismanagement. Sepulveda pump fakes, drops it down and slides. He'll be marked at the line of scrimmage, and it'll be 2nd and 10.
Say Sepulveda had almost about 500 passing yards in the Cougars' first 2 games of season. He's only held to 51 against Aurora, but you got to wonder what kind of has been the shift in the game plan that, your quarterback throws for 500 in your first 2 games, and then the passing game just has not been there the last 2 games either.
Man in motion going right. Sepulveda drops back. It's going to be a screen. He finds Daniels. Daniels with the seam. 1 man. Makes another man miss. And he drops down at the 50-yard line. That's the short pass they've been waiting for, as it's a big play. And you can see Andy Lambert takes the headset off and tells his guys, get going, get on the line. As the Cougars need to work fast with under 5 minutes left.
Got to start working towards the sidelines as well. You only got 1 timeout. Get those out of bounds. Get that time stop.
Just as you mentioned it, another bubble pass brought in by Trey Warden. On the tackle, Eli Wallace. But you mentioned, Peter, as well, a lot of the times, too, late in the game, teams will start working the sidelines because those are technically free timeouts. It'll stop the clock.
Yeah, that's kind of the tricky situation for the Cougars right now, is that they need to move downfield and move downfield quick because it is a 2-score game, but you also need to work those sidelines, and it's obviously hard to pin a ball on that sideline for a receiver.
Blitz by the Falcons. Sepulveda rolls right, takes a big hit, but is able to find a man, and brought down on the side right at the numbers. Cornell Davis II. Sepulveda taking a big lick on that one. Stood strong and was able to get the throw off. Be 3rd down and 8. Cougars need to convert. They're 2 for 6 in the second half. Another pass. Sepulveda over the middle. Finds a man. And it's a 1st down. Big conversion there to Tyree McKinney.
We kind of see the Cougars' problem right there is that they got that nice they got that nice completion down the field. He got some big yardage, but it was in the middle of the field. He wasn't able to get out of bounds, and obviously you like the completion, but the clock is still running.
They run the ball now. Sepulveda keeps it, slides, gets a little love tap from Eli Wallace.
Rushing play is not what I expected out of the Cougars right there. You're working against the clock. Obviously, rushing, unless you're able to get to the sideline, is not going to stop the clock at all. So you got to imagine they got to start going through the air a lot right now, if not entirely.
Sepulveda, big fly deep, and a catch. Big catch and big hit. Ty McKinney is able to hold on to it, but takes a big hit. From Cameron Atwater. But that is a huge pickup for the Cougars. Puts him inside of the red zone. It's 1st and goal. Time is ticking away, 2:30 and counting. 3 receivers to the left. Daniels to the left. Runs it right. Lowers his head. Keeps the feet going. No signal yet. He's marked short. He's at the 1-yard line.
Unless they're able to run this play in 8 seconds, looks like they're going to hit the 2-minute warning. So
Sepulveda under center. Everybody crowded around. Man in motion. QB sneak. Looks like he hit a wall. He's still moving. No progress has been marked. The line judge running in, hand up. He's marked short. Now the clock has stopped. 1:37 on.
So they're trying to clear up where the ball is going to go, and then I'm fairly certain the clock will start once more.
Timeout CUC.
Last timeout for the Cougars.
So the Cougars also get an extra 5 seconds on the game clock. But you mentioned, Peter, it seemed like the Cougars, after the big play, when they could have been rushing to the ball, took their time, made sure they got their signals in, and then ran the play.
Yeah, I mean, you mentioned up top they're kind of running a rush offense, no huddle, but we haven't really seen the benefits of that. Even though they are not huddling, they are still taking quite a bit of time off the game clock to get their plays down, know what they're doing. So, it kind of defeats the purpose of the no huddle, hurry-up offense. Something else to note is that unless, they're able to successfully convert an onside kick, which they'll pretty much have to go for, assuming they score, Wisconsin's going to have the ball, and Cougars do not have any timeouts remaining. So at this point, a touchdown and then an onside kick's almost a necessity.
The Cougars were able to convert on one onside kick, but before they can try that, they need to score here. Ball is literally at the half-yard line. Inches to go. They hand it off, and a touchdown to DeAndre Daniels. Good play designed by the Cougars, sending a man in motion and just slipping the ball into Daniels. It's now 28-19. And the offense is staying out there. They have to go for 2.
Say they have to go for 2 either now or if they score another touchdown. So might as well go for it now, make that next touchdown, if it happens, a bit easier.
Now, Peter, what do you think you do here? Do you run the ball or you pass it?
Honestly, I think they should be passing it just because of how much they have been running it.
Fumble on the play. Cougars with no chance to get a 2-point conversion. Sepulveda went under center on that, and it seemed the exchange was bobbled. So the Cougars have left themselves with a big, big hole to fill. 28-19 Falcons, 1:39 left in the game. They need to score 9 points and fast.
Which means most likely 2 onside kicks, which, one successful onside kick is rare enough, but 2 in under a minute 40, that's, a almost unheard of. So going to need some luck on their side if they want to pull this victory out, or at least get a tie and head into overtime.
So the Cougars have used all 3 of their timeouts. So in the event that the onside kick is not recovered by the Cougars, the Falcons could wind the clock down to basically nothing and leave no room for the Cougars to advance.
Yeah, an onside kick is essentially a 100% necessity right now for any Cougar chances of winning.
Ryan Oyer lines up. 6 Cougars to the left side. He'll attempt the onside kick. 1-2. And smothered by Eli Wallace. Played it like a shortstop. And the Falcons offense comes onto the field. Right idea. It's just that ball never took that extra bounce to get over the top and that high hop that you usually see on onside kicks.
Yeah, onside kicks always need a little bit of luck on their side to get that right bounce. Hopefully pop the ball up or make one of the receiving team's players kind of misplay it, leave it on the ground to be gobbled up, but did not happen.
Falcons take a knee. The clock runs. Cougars with no timeouts. The clock is just going to wind down here.
Say, if my mental math is right here, I believe the Falcons can just run this clock out to 0.
Falcons will improve to 3-1 on the season. And they'll take on Rockford University next week. The Cougars, after winning their first 2, will now drop their last 2. The last 2 losses that came to conference opponents.
I say that's the key thing, is that right there in the conference they're sitting 0-2 right now. I believe they have the rest of their schedule is all conference games, so gonna definitely need to pick up some ground throughout the rest of the season after this 0-2 conference start.
They'll be on the road for 2 weeks against Eureka College and Rockford University, and then come back to Lakeland for homecoming on October 16th. With that final knee, both teams will meet at the 50-yard line and shake hands. And the final score will be 28-19 Falcons. Peter, it seemed that the Cougars had 3 minutes of great offensive football. After that, they really stalled. What do you think was one thing that contributed to that?
I mean, you could look at a lot of things. You could look at their almost unwillingness to open things up down the field. We see a lot in all levels of football now that the best offenses are those ones that attack with huge throws downfield. You look at how important, an elite quarterback is to, say, NFL teams. But I also think just the communication wasn't there for the Cougars either. We saw a lot of timeouts had to be taken to avoid delay of games, a lot of mishandled snaps and handoffs. Things just looked a little sloppy on that end of the ball. So definitely some cleaning up needing to be done for the Cougars if they want to get back up in the conference rankings.
The one bright spot for the Cougars, as we saw today, DeAndre Daniels. What a big difference he makes when he's healthy and in the lineup. And DeAndre Daniels did his part today. A tremendous performance from the running back. Yeah, and hopefully he can string some more together in the next game and the season.
I think being able to utilize him properly is going to be key if this Cougars offense wants to get going. We saw that, yes, he had a very good game, but they became almost over-reliant on him as the game went on. Falcons keyed in on him, and that kind of made the offense stagnant as a whole. So, yes, he's a great talent, had a great game, but, you do need to spread the ball around, too, to keep opposing defenses on their toes.
Final score, Falcons 28, Cougars 19. Cougars 2-2 on the season. Falcons improved to 3-1. For Carter Gledhill, as well as Peter Borkowski, this has been Cougar Football on the Cougar Sports Network. We'll see you in a little bit.